Isolate, natural log, and simplify, solve. Bam! Alright, now, here we're going to go a little bit more in depth with it. And you know, when it comes to math, it always gets bigger and deeper and deeper and gets better and better and applies more and more stuff. So we're just going to follow the same process we've been doing. We're going to still isolate it. So we're going to natural log both sides. We're going to simplify it. And we're going to solve it out the same way. We're going to keep doing that exact same thing. So with this, again, we need to figure out what is our exponential function here. So that first step is isolate that function, whatever it is. And hopefully this, you all see this whole thing, not 4x minus 7, because that's not an exponent. There's no exponent there. That is the exponent. So you have to have the 5 with it, that big base number back there with it. So it's 5 to the 4x minus 7 for that. Okay, so that means here, this part needs to move. And let's go ahead and make sure also we write this down too. Exponential function, exponential function, exponential function. What is your function? Function. So exponential function is that part right there. And then it means we need to add 3 to both sides. Because in order to be able to move that minus 3 to both sides, on this side, you have to add it to both sides to move to the over here. So those cancel out. So we're left with 5 to the 4x minus 7 power equals 13. 13. Okay. So we isolated it. What's the second step? So we natural log it. That's it. Natural log both sides. Isolate, natural log it. Okay, so we natural log both sides, not just once. Don't forget, that's not just one. Don't forget to show the love on both sides, because whenever you do one side of the equation, you gotta do the other. If you love one side, you gotta love the other side. There's so much love that goes around in the world. You need to show love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. Okay. Sorry again, I got sidetracked again. Sorry. All right, so we isolated, we natural logged it. Now we need to simplify it. So here, are we dealing with the power rule or the E? And again, do you see E in there at all? No. So we're using our power rule. So, sorry, not on that line. Let's do the power rule here. Power rule. Okay, so we're going to take this and we're going to move it in front here. So I'm going to put parentheses here because the whole thing is going to be moved in front. So the whole thing, 4x minus 7 is going to be moved in front of natural log 5, so we're using a parenthesis. Okay, so now we need to go ahead and solve it out. Now this is the part where it's going to do some work, but it's going to be okay. So in this one, we're going to distribute this natural log 5 to both the 7 and that 4x. So we're going to write this as natural log 4x natural log 5 minus 7 natural log 5 equals 13, natural log 13. So we distribute that. Let's see. Distribute. I think it'd be better if I do that in the bottom. So we distribute that natural log 5 to both the 4x and that 7. Alright, so again, we need to get x by itself. So we're going to keep this together, not do anything with that yet. So we're going to add 7 natural log 5 to both sides. Now with that, do not, resist the urge, do not combine natural log 13 and 7 natural log 5. They're not like terms. Natural log 13 and natural log 5 are not the same thing, so you can't combine them. So we have to write it out the whole way. Write it all the way out. They are not like terms, so you cannot combine them. They're not like terms, so you cannot combine them. So you can, what we can do is natural log 13 plus 7 natural log 5. So we write them out together. We need to write the whole thing out because they are not the same thing, so you can't combine them. They're not like terms. All right. And then the very last thing is we need to get x by itself. And so you have to look at it as That's saying 4 times x times natural log 5. So it's 4 times x times natural log 5. So to get x by itself over here, that means we have to do the opposite of multiplication that's going on there. So it means we need to divide by 4 natural log 5. But if we divide by 4 natural log 5, do we just divide like this part by 4 natural log 5, or this part just that stuff by 4 natural log 5? Or do we divide the whole thing by 4 natural log 5? And hopefully you said the whole thing, because if you ever said that, you're right. You are correct. So we're going to do 4 natural log 5 for the whole thing. So the 4 here cancels out with that 4. Natural log 5 cancels out with that natural log 5. So the last part is x equals this whole wonderful, beautiful thing. It's amazing. So amazing. You caused the sun and moon to shine. I'm so glad you're mine. Sorry. Another song in my head. Sorry, my bad. Alright, so we put that down. So natural log 13 plus natural log 7 over natural log over 4 natural log 5. Now with that again, if you need to look at that piece by piece, go back in the video and look back at that to go piece by piece. Go through it slowly to make sure you understand what we did, because the process is going to work the same way for these problems. They're not going to change. They're going to be the same process each time. And the last thing is just now putting it into the calculator and find that decimal answer. So we're going to do alpha y equals again. We're going to do natural log 13. Don't forget to close off the parentheses after 13. And on top, we're still going to do 7 plus natural log 5. So on top of the fraction should look exactly like the top of fraction that's on the screen there. So natural log 13 plus natural log 7 natural log 5. Just make sure again that you have parentheses around your 13 and around your 5. 13 and around your 5. And then again down here, parentheses around the 5. And again, if there's a way that you can do this as a shortcut, you can figure out a shortcut way of doing this, go for it. I don't mind. So when you put that on the calculator exactly as is on the screen, you should get about 2.148. So everybody should get about 2.148. And that's your answer. 2.148. Booyah. Okay, and again, these videos are made so that you can take it at your own pace. If you need to go back in the video again to see what we did and like what happened before this step, so you don't rush through it really quickly, please go back into the video and watch it again. Watch the certain parts again to make sure that you understand what just happened. If you don't understand it even after watching the video a couple of times, call me over and I can explain it a different way. Or even your neighbor can explain to you maybe a better way that you can understand it. But take advantage of these. Alright, and then here comes our next practice.